Hi there, Arthur's here, and today we're going to talk about grids. Grids are very important. They are important for desktop and for mobile design. In mobile design, we have two options. The first option is my choice, so it's 12 or 4 column grid for mobile, and for desktop usually use 12 column grid. So let's discuss the mobile layout first of all. Here we have two options, as I said, and the one on the left, which is 12 column, allows us to align, to adjust elements more carefully than the 4 column grid, which is more rigid, so to speak. And you see most sizes are quite okay here, so it's 1/4, 2 seconds, or 1/3, and so on. You may use both 12 and 4 column grid. It's up on you. I usually use 12 column grid because it's easier for me to arrange elements inside small areas. Like if we have just this area and we would like to align several elements like icons, for instance, see, you may have more options to attach these to the grid. Although here in 4 column grid you also have this chance, but you will have more difficulties here. You see, you may discuss it first with your front-end developer, with your stakeholder, which grid will be better for this design. But in most cases, designers are those who are deciding which grid will be used in this and that project. Okay, so what is the grid for? First off, it's to align elements properly. Let's say we have contact form. Let me grab one. Let's say we have several sections which we would like to have on our screen. It's a dashboard. You see, we have option to make the opacity more. And if we won't have the grid, we can arrange modules in the way we will like to, but that won't be correct. So you see, the grid allows us to create correct mockup, so it's easier to read. You see, here we won't have grid. We will be able to arrange our blocks randomly. Right now, when we're using grid, we can have the same spacing, same margins between the objects, horizontal and vertical. So what is the grid for? Again, the purpose of grid is to create a correct mockup. Correct in terms of positioning, alignment, distribution. So here you see we shifted a bit, spacer here, spacer there, and we have the sidebar which takes close to 2 columns. Each block takes 3 columns and the spacing is equal between them. So it allows us to find the proper object, to read the title, and to start to interact with the module we need. You see, let me delete this one. And it's easier for front-end developers when you have grid and you work with the grid correctly, so your elements are aligned properly, straight to the line. Okay, in terms of mobile design, as I said before, you may choose between these two options, although XD offers 4 column grid as default. I'm not sure it's the right way. I'm used to 12 column grid and I'm trying to work within the 12 columns on the mobile layout as well. Okay, let's turn to the adjustments of the grid in XD. So you see, you may have the square or layout. Square shows you just the pixel grid. You may adjust the pixel square size. So 1 square takes 15 pixels. Okay, let's go back to layout grid. You may select the color of your grid and the opacity. Very useful when you don't want this to be interfering with your design. If you take down the opacity to 0, you see there are only guides shown. Very useful feature. And next adjustments are the number of columns, gutter width, column width, and the margins. So gutter width, it's the spacing between columns. Column width, it's the size of the column. The margins are those white space on the left and on the right respectively. Again, you may adjust your grid to your project right on the go, but be careful, do not change it once you started other pages, because you are not allowed to have different layouts on the pages. So you may create different width for your content area. If you wish to, say you have some content text heavy website like Medium, and you want this section to be on the center of the screen. Let's say you want to have more spacing between elements when you are working on a complex dashboard or it's a artful website. So you may adjust these to your needs, so no worries if you change the default values here. Okay, again, try to do your best to adjust the width, just showing the color so it's easier for you to see. Try to avoid such placement when nothing attached to a grid, so your block goes out of the column. Try to shrink the element and inner elements also could be aligned to the grid. Now you see we have more organized UI, and when you want to create another which will have other data here, maybe different purpose, but you will already have the measures that will help you to create a consistent design, exactly as in the other blocks, like here. Okay, try to put more attention to the alignment, because it's really hard for front-end coders to guess what you exactly meant, whether it's a mistake or it's by design. So try to keep your mockup attached to your columns, to your grid. Thank you very much for your attention. See you on our next lesson. Bye.